Wakey, wakey! We're there!
So, this is it. The one and only hotel in this godforsaken place. I had to change trains in London and then sit for another 45 minutes in a cab. And now here, I'm in the middle of nowhere. The village of Willow Creek itself is a bit further down the road. But I ought to take a look around here first. Angelina must have checked into this hotel. The hotel lobby's in there behind the tall windows. Very grand for such a small country hotel. A large bird bath made from imitation marble. It's full of water and I can't see a damn bird for miles. Wow, the ivy must be at least 100 years old. It's already climbed up the whole building. Shame that I don't have to secretly get up to the first floor. The ivy would be an ideal ladder substitute. Three flags hanging here. England, Great Britain, and the European Union. The last one's gotta be there, just for the foreign tourists.
Oh, a new guest! Welcome to Gordon's Palace. My name is Murray.
Hello. I'm looking for a young woman who's spending some time here. Maybe you've seen her?
Yes, maybe I have, but maybe I haven't. You have to understand this is a discreet hotel. I can't talk about my guests.
So, she's a guest here.
As I said already, a discreet hotel.
Almost dead, one could say.
It's off-season right now. It'll get busier. This is the best hotel in Willow Creek and a place with history. This was once the sanatorium of the dreaded Robert Gordon, the Dr. Frankenstein of Willow Creek.
Oh yeah?
Yes. He was the uncle of Samuel Gordon, the maniac murderer. Everyone thought squeaky clean Sir Robert was a respectable doctor. But in reality, he conducted illegal experiments on the sanatorium's patients. Very nasty goings on.
And then someone thought it would make a great hotel.
Of course. Immediately after the murders 12 years ago, the tourists came in throngs. They wanted to see everything. But where could they stay the night? There wasn't a hotel. So, I bought this building. The patients were taken away straight after the incident, of course. Some also escaped. So, anyway, I bought the house, had it renovated, and now it's the best hotel in the place. How many nights did you say you wanted?
Actually, I just wanted to know if you've seen this young lady. Her name is Angelina Morgan.
Now, I can't talk to strangers about guests. The hotel's reputation, you see.
I see. And if I were a guest myself, then...
Then, of course, we could have a little chat about who else has a room here at the moment.
Alright then. A room, please. For, let's say, 2 nights to start with.
Very well. That'll be £90.
So, what about Angelina? Is she here?
The young lady checked in here a few days ago. Room 13, right next to yours, sir. However, I haven't seen her since yesterday morning.
Thank you. Room 13, that's down this corridor?
Yes, sir. Your room is number 12. You do, of course, understand that I can't let you into the lady's room. As you know, the hotel has a reputation to uphold.
Huh. This takes me a step closer. I know Angelina was here. Perhaps I'll find some clues as to what she found out, and who didn't like it. One of the keys belongs to Angelina's room. It's number 13. But I can't get my hands on it while Murray's standing at the counter. One of the keys belongs to Angelina's room. It's a stand with what looks like tasteless postcards from tourists. They show either pictures of the village or blood-stained knives. Here's one with a screaming woman on it. That's one of those things they use in big hotels to carry cases on. I find it rather hard to imagine them having hotel porters here. Murray seems to have just been eating something. I'm guessing that he's the only employee in his hotel, so he can't just go and leave his position at the counter to go and eat. The knife hasn't been used. I'll take it. Maybe I can still find a use for it. What the? A cheap plastic mask of Samuel Gordon. Toy knife with blood-stained blade. And the worst thing is that you can bet that some of my fellow humans actually buy this stuff. Huh. Willow Creek. I was here and survived. Willow Creek makes your blood freeze. Willow Creek, home of murderers. Unbelievable. You know, I can never be bothered with most postcards. But here's a card with a drawn map of the area showing the murder locations of 12 years ago all marked out. I could use the map to help me keep myself oriented. I'll take it with me.
I'll put it on your bill.
I can't do a thing with the other postcards. It's already bad enough that I've been supporting Murray and his rip-off business by buying the map. And what's this thing supposed to be? Huh. The original soul key. Summon dark forces and scare the pants off your friends. Lights up in 3 different colors. Gruesome sound effects. Hellish fun. Batteries not included. I can't get my head around it. I'd rather chop my hand off than buy this plastic crap from China and speed up global warming and the demise of mankind. I'd rather chop my hand off than buy this plastic. If at all, that thing was maybe used during the first months when the place opened. I'd like to bet it hasn't turned a wheel since. Room 13. That's Angelina's room. And that's my room, number 12. First I'll get rid of this rucksack, and then I need to find a way to get into Angelina's room. That's better. Strange. The wall doesn't look like it belongs here. Looks temporary to me. It's pretty dark back there, but it looks like the passage simply hasn't been renovated. I'd like to guess that this wall's been put up just to prevent the guests in the front part of the hotel from being disturbed while the restoration work's still going on in the back. Perhaps Murray ran out of cash, or he saw that he didn't need any more rooms. Whatever the case, the renovation didn't get finished. No. I don't think there's anything of interest waiting for me back there. A wooden clock with a glass cover and some carving on it. Huh. What's that? The clock's just an imitation. It can't be wound up. Probably a cheap electronic clock with batteries. Let's see. A few crime stories, poetry collections, fairy tales, horror stories. Just the thing for a relaxing night in a hotel. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna have one of those. The idea is very much that you sit yourself in this armchair, read one of the books from over there, while quietly smoking a pipe or a cigar. Judging by the ashtray, it looks like that hasn't happened for some time, though. It's sparkling clean. There's only a box of matches lying in it. Allardyce matches. Sounds like there's still a few in here. There's a newspaper lying on the glass table. Maybe a service for the guests. Oh no, can't be. The paper's already several weeks old. Probably so little going on here that Murray hardly ever gets back here to tidy up. Nothing's older than yesterday's paper, but I don't have to read it. I think I'll just take a few pages. A whole load of good books. But I don't know how they're supposed to help me in my search for Angelina. A whole load of good books. But I can't get it off. It's screwed on. I need a screwdriver or something like that to get it off the bookcase. Yep, that's how it's done. I've got him. 2 1.5-volt batteries. Angelina's room's locked. I need to get hold of the key somehow. A whole row of old-fashioned lockboxes. Although they're only made of wood, they look like they're still tricky to break open. Angelina checked in here and is staying in room 13. The guest book probably can't tell me much more. Even if there was something interested in the guest book, I'm sure Murray wouldn't give me a look. The hotel's reputation, you understand? Oh man. An old-fashioned telephone. It's probably meant to be classic, but to be honest, it's just old. What else can you tell me about Angelina?
Don't know. Nice girl. Seems to be out a lot. Always went off for a couple of hours, then back to her room, then out again.
Did you notice anything? Was she nervous? Afraid?
No, not really. She seemed to be a bit stressed. Tense. And always in a hurry. That's just what young people are like.
Did you call the police when she didn't come back last night?
Why should I? She paid up front, everything's fine.
Oh yeah, everything's fantastic. She might be bleeding to death in the woods or in the hands of violent kidnappers, but she paid up front.
Calm down. Nothing will have happened to her. Absolutely nothing's happened here for 12 years, unfortunately.
What can you tell me about this place?
Willow Creek. It's the nest in which I was born. Just like all the others you see around here. No one moves to here. Either you're born here and stay, or you're born here and leave. It can't keep hold of the youngsters anymore. They want to be in the city. The place is dying out.
Is there anything special to see here?
The museum, of course. I was significantly involved in setting it up. It's even on my land, which I've leased for a small, appropriate fee, of course. Go into the village. You won't miss it. We set it up once the flow of tourists dried up. You need to offer the people something, after all. We redesigned the rear part of the museum last year. Now it's got a lot more zip. It was my idea. None of the other people in the village have got any idea about business.
And?
You have to speculate to accumulate. You're not going to attract tourists with a couple of clay pots and carpets, are you?
How can you attract tourists?
With a show! You need to give them something. We've got 5 gruesome murders here, an old family full of maniacs, a dark curse. There must be some capital in that.
Doesn't seem to have worked all that well so far.
Alas, no. Many didn't get involved. Said you should let the dead rest in peace. We won't get anywhere like that.
Of course not.
During the first few months after the murders, it was looking really good. The papers wrote about our murders all the time. Loads of free publicity. They came from all over. Buses full. But then, well, the hype died down.
Ooh, how tragic. Hey, perhaps a couple of people should be killed every season. Then you'll get more press.
Yeah, you don't need to worry about it. You haven't invested all your savings. But I'll have the last laugh. This place is gonna be on the up again.
What's that castle out there on the hill?
That's the famous Black Mirror Castle, ancestral home of the Golden family. There are few buildings here that have a history as fascinating and blood-soaked.
Why, what happened there?
What didn't happen there, more like? Every imaginable abomination. Murder, torture, witch burning, dark rituals, devil worship, everything.
Yeah, sure. And that's not just what you tell the tourists to make this place more interesting.
Well, perhaps it's not quite that bad, But what the people say is true. That castle is cursed. That much is certain.
Cursed.
Just look at the Gordons. An ancient family that's gonna die out. One blow of fate after the other. The latest events alone. Around 25 years ago, there was a fire in the castle, and Master Samuel lost his young wife in the flames. 12 years ago, the eldest Gordon committed suicide. He jumped from the castle tower. After that came Robert's murder and Samuel's suicide. The last surviving Gordon is Lady Victoria. She's already about 90. When she dies, one of the oldest families in England dies with her.
Sounds like bad luck, but not necessarily a curse.
It is. The castle is cursed. It makes the people crazy. How else are you going to explain one Gordon after the other completely losing it?
Some mental illnesses are hereditary. And if it's an old noble family, incest may also play a role.
Yeah. Or natural radioactivity, or poisonous groundwater. That's all far-fetched. It's a curse. Everyone knows that.
What did you say this building used to be?
The old Ashbury Sanatorium. The legendary, the gruesome, the unfathomable sanatorium of the crazy Robert Gordon.
I see.
Sir Robert was Samuel Gordon's uncle on his father's side. He lived in the castle and was, of course, like all Gordons, completely insane. He conducted experiments on the patients here in the sanatorium. Illegal experiments. Terrible experiments.
And no one noticed.
He mostly did it at night, alone. He only had one accomplice in the village, Dr. Herman. Both were murdered before their schemes were uncovered. But strange things have been happening since their deaths. People claim to have seen spectral apparitions in these corridors, and sounds that come out of the ground.
Sure, and that's probably written large on the front of your flyers, right? A couple of ghosts would surely be good for business. It's just a shame it's absolute moonshine. What's that then? A soul key?
They are powerful, magical artifacts. After the murders 12 years ago, the police seized documents from the castle. Amongst them were also pictures of these soul keys. Samuel Gordon must have been nigh on obsessed by them. The police believe that Samuel had several of them.
Perhaps the devil himself gave him the order to do it.
Perhaps. What's for certain is that he killed for it, and that the keys, assuming they ever existed, disappeared when he committed suicide.
And what has that got to do with this plastic trash?
That's no trash! Do you know how expensive it was to produce thousands of these and ship them here? Pal, that cost me a fortune.
Thousands! How many have you sold?
Put it this way, I won't need to reorder in the near future. Even though they're so fantastic. Well, they even light up when you put a battery in them.
Oh, awesome! Couldn't you perhaps give me Angelina's room key?
If you buy the hotel and let me retire, then we can talk about it.
And if I forget a 50-pound note on the counter, would you go outside to look at the pretty pictures on it in the daylight?
Young man, this is a quality hotel. I can't and won't allow its reputation to be damaged.
No one will notice. There's not a soul here.
You can't bribe me, and that's that.
Thanks for the chat, Murray.
My pleasure.
I'd rather chop my hand off than buy this plastic crap from China and speed up global warming and the demise of mankind. A newspaper by the looks of it, I'd say it's a halfway serious local rag. Whatever, probably not worth reading. A card from the Willow Creek area. It's marked where the murders took place 12 years ago. As long as I don't have any leads, I'd better just give a look around here once again. She was definitely here, though maybe not in the village. Huh. The words Gordon's Palace have just been simply printed onto the awning. Cheap. The awning offers a little shelter from the rain at least. Mind you, it's still unpleasant standing here outside when there are dry, heated rooms waiting inside. First off, I had to have a look here in the hotel for signs of Angelina's whereabouts. Going straight into the village without any kind of plan doesn't strike me as being a good idea. Now, does a bird bath in a land where it rains constantly actually make sense? I can't see anything interesting, and the basin is much too heavy to move. A big heap of wet leaves. A gardener must have raked them together from off the lawn. That pile's not been here for long. The leaves are soaking wet on the outside, but they look drier underneath. The rain hasn't made everything wet through. That pile's not been here for long. The leaves are soaking wet on the outside. I've got the crumpled newspaper in the middle, next to the leaves which aren't so wet. The crumpled up newspaper is planted in the heap of leaves. It's still relatively dry, but sooner or later it'll get drenched by the rain. The newspaper's lit. The leaves next to it are just charring. They're not gonna burn, they're too damp for that.
Murray, there's smoke outside. I hope the hotel isn't gonna burn down around our heads.
Bugger! Oh!
As long as Murray's outside putting out the fire, I can take Angelina's key unnoticed. Now we'd like to have that. The key for room number 13. Hopefully I might find some evidence of Angelina's whereabouts in her room.
Those little brats! They've no idea how dangerous that is. They
Yeah,
should...
the young are really bad. A little cupboard. Looks rather like an antique. And inside there's... Sleeping potion. Now could that be Angelina's? Maybe she was having nightmares from all that business. What the hell have I gotten her into? Interesting. Several cut lemons, and there's a sliver of wood stuck in one of them. She didn't eat the lemons, that much is clear. Lemons and a sliver of wood. That rings a bell somehow. A thick-walled but relatively squat glass. You'd normally be drinking a drop of the hard stuff out of this kind of glass. A thick-walled but relatively squat glass. Here's a few sheets of writing paper. Now, did Angelina make any notes about her investigations? The paper looks completely unused. I won't find anything here. What's that? One of the pictures I took of Angelina. That's gotta be a clue for me. So it is. There are a few white notes on the back of the picture. Strange. There are 2 sheets of writing paper, folded twice, but there's nothing on them. Either it's a secret message written in invisible ink, or the empty pages themselves are some kind of clue. But right now, though, I have no idea myself. Let's see. There, you can see a black script. Of course, a real old trick. Angelina must have used lemon juice to write with. The heat makes the clear juice turn black. Ouch! Damn it. The match is burned out and there's only a tiny corner of the text that's turned visible. Better not. There are only 2 matches left in the matchbox, and there's no way I'd ever be able to make the whole message visible with them. I need something that's gonna burn for longer. A small, even flame, or else I'm gonna set fire to the paper by mistake. A thick, heavy, and very old-fashioned bedspread. There are woolen threads around the edges. I can't take the cover, but I can take the wooden thread as a souvenir. It wouldn't be the first time something like that had come in useful. The bed looks old-fashioned, but not uncomfortable. I'm rather tempted by the idea of a couple of hours on it. I've been on my feet for more than 24 hours now. But I really can't allow myself a break until I've found Angelina. Huh. The bed's a little to one side, as though it's been pushed around. Maybe there's something under there. Aha, now then, the carpet under the bed has been torn up, and there seems to be some kind of metal cover there. I need to take a closer look at this. There it is. A kind of round metal cover. It was hidden under the carpet. A round metal plate, about 20 inches in diameter. Maybe copper? Oh, I can't say how thick it is, but it gives the impression of being solid and heavy. There are 5 rings on the cover, and they turn. There's an animal symbol engraved on each ring, and in the middle of the cover there's a handle. Ugh, it's rock solid. No chance. I probably have to set the right combination, but I don't know what it is, and there must be thousands of possibilities. The carpet's been cut in 2 places, and then folded up. It doesn't seem to have been glued to the floor. Better not. There are only 2 matches left in the I need something that's gonna burn for longer. I can't tell when that might have happened. Could be a few hours old. Could be a few months, too. But has it got anything to do with Angelina's disappearance? Let's see. A few clothes hangers, a clothes rail, a few drawers. Everything empty and squeaky clean. Nothing special. A typical hotel bathroom, like you can find all over the world. A white painted ribbed radiator. The heating's lukewarm. The heating's lukewarm and there's no thermostat. I won't be able to warm the acid enough with that. I don't see anything that might be significant. A completely normal tube TV, like most folks have at home. Should I sit myself down in front of the TV and wait until I see ghostly messages from Angelina in the white noise? Maybe not. A thick-walled but relatively squat glass. You'd normally be drinking a drop of the hard stuff out of this kind of glass. A thick-walled but relatively squat glass. I'll put the thread in the glass, thus making it a woolen thread in a whiskey glass. That's not gonna work too well. The woolen thread will burn way too fast. Something's missing. There's woolen thread about half an inch long hanging in the glass. I'm not gonna find anything interesting in the bathroom. The room is very small, and it doesn't look like Angelina's left me a message. Also, when I look inside again, the robe's completely empty. That's my room. Like all the rooms here, a converted cell. It doesn't really feel all that friendly, and it's rather uncared for. Apart from the price, there's nothing much here that's first class. A bottle of schnapps. Maybe I could grab it while Murray's not looking. Voila! A bottle of alcohol. It's probably crockery that was intended for the guests. I can't see anything special about it. Great. The woolen thread is acting like a wick and soaking up the alcohol. Looks like I've rediscovered the world's oldest artificial light source. Awesome. My little fire's lit. It was working like that 10,000 years ago, too. Now what do I do with it? So, let's see. Ah, at last. There's Angelina's message. Sunday, 1600. I don't know what's supposed to be so special
about Willow Creek. It all seems so forlorn, poor and desolate. Hopefully I won't have to disappoint Darren. He's helped me so much, and I only now hope that I can help him too. Sunday, 9 p.m. That Porter Murray is a damned shark. He had money off me for every single bit of info. I'm not doing that again. I'll go to the library tomorrow, and there's supposed to be a town museum too. Maybe I'll pick up something there about Darren's castle. Monday, 11 a.m. Black Mirror was built in the 14th century by the two brothers, Marcus and Mordred Gordon. The brothers argued and virtually waged war with each other. To this day, descendants of the Gordon line still inhabit Black Mirror Castle. They will, however, soon die out. The last young Gordon died 12 years ago, having committed suicide. Monday, 2 p.m. I've got something on the tree symbol that Darren discovered on Boris's ring. The symbol is mentioned in the Chronicle of the Gordon family. I also stumbled across it in the library. It's the symbol of a secret society, a kind of sect that wants to summon up dark powers and uses corpses in the process. What if Boris is one of them? Monday, 4 p.m. I found out in the pub that people believe there's a curse on Black Mirror Castle and the Gordon family. Maybe I'll change the topic of my degree thesis. I'd much rather write about accursed castles, though I can't see my good Prof. Hubbard being too thrilled about the idea. Monday, 9 p.m. He's here. Reginald Boris is here in Willow Creek. I've just seen him sneaking about the hotel. What should I do? Is he here because of me? Now, of all times, right when I want to investigate the passage. I'm not going to let myself be stopped, but I'll send off some insurance.
Oh man, Reginald Boris. Angelina had been doing some research, and Boris had caught her at it. Now, he's holding her prisoner, and... does he want to lure me to him? In Maine, he wanted to take me on a journey. Is this all about me? Whatever the reason for all this might be, Angelina doesn't have anything to do with it. She's got into danger because she wanted to help me. It's my fault if something happens to her. I ought to go into the village and listen around. Angelina was there. But I need to be careful. I don't know who might belong to this order that Angelina warned me about. Angelina's message written in secret ink. Now the ink's well visible. Sunday, 1600. I don't know what's supposed to be so special.